Super quick, before I get into this video, there's a pinned comment below with a link to a video where I talk about how I am giving you, the subscribers, some financial relief. Please check out that video and sign up. There's only, I think, a day left to apply. All you have to do is be a subscriber, and I'm going to try to help out as many people as I can. Let's get into the video. What's going on, everyone? Jeremy here from the Quartering, and I admit it, I have caved. I have purchased Animal Crossing. I now have about 1 hour into the game. You know, I needed a game to play that I could, when I was just chilling upstairs watching TV with my wife. Most of the games that I play are pretty intense and require a mouse and keyboard, and that's not really conducive to chilling in my lazy boy and watching TV. So Animal Crossing, was an option for me. So I dusted off my Nintendo Switch and charged it up. I actually haven't turned it on in probably 6 months, it seems like, and it's okay so far. To me, it's feeling a lot like a time waster, but it's also oddly satisfying to do those little tasks every day, go catch some bugs and pull some weeds. I mean, I don't want to do that around my real house, but my house in Animal Crossing, well, it's currently just a tent, sure seems satisfying to do that. But for whatever reason, media always has to politicize everything, and that includes what can only be described as a children's game. Before I get into that, huge shout out to this video sponsor, Ridge Wallet. Look, this is basically the easiest sponsor video for me to do. I love my Ridge Wallet. I've been using it for 6 or 7 months at this point. They have a gigantic collection on their website where you can pick a variety of different designs, and they even have different products to choose from now. Here's the one I have, the carbon fiber, but then they have titanium and all that kind of stuff. But they also have a special discount code for you to save money. Look, I will never go back to a bifold or a trifold again. If you're in the position to, consider trying out a Ridge Wallet to support the channel and make your back feel a ton better. Now, to continue into, by the way, the link will be in the description and the pinned comment below. So, Animal Crossing. I saw a lot of people were tweeting articles at me yesterday. Animal Crossing, New Horizons fans, CJ and Flick are gay. Deal with it. CJ and Flick from Animal Crossing are a couple if you want them to. The gamer, stop lying, Nintendo. CJ and Flick are gay. Who cares? Literally nobody. I don't understand this gamer. Now that I've been doing this longer, I'm starting to accept that these people exist. But it's weird when even Nintendo comes out and says, "Nah, player, it's a child's game with fictional characters. We're not going down this road." Doesn't stop BuzzFeed and Polygon from publishing articles to the contrary and saying, "Tough cookies, Nintendo fans. They gay." Not that there's anything wrong with that. Not that I have any problem with that. It's just interesting. You know, this article that came out, curiously, has been retitled. If you go to the title bar, it says, you know, that they're gay, deal with it. But the article itself just says, CJ and Flick's official Animal Crossing status doesn't matter. The fans have spoken. Well, it's just like modern day comic books. You could also look at an article like this from Business Insider, which says, it's time to admit that Animal Crossing New Horizons is a dumb, boring game for children. Yeah, so? I don't think anyone's really out there other than games journalists trying to say it's anything but that. The game's a time waster. It's fun to just chill out, and also especially in a time like right now where it's kind of difficult to feel like we have a lot of control. I think the release of Animal Crossing New Horizons, and with the fact that there's so much uncertainty in the world right now, is a big reason it's selling even better than it maybe would have otherwise. Obviously, it would have been a big title nonetheless. There's a huge following. But I myself, I'm telling you, I would never have bought this game if I could still go to the pub, and if I could still play in my darts league, and if I could still go bowling. I wouldn't be feeling like I need something to kill time. Or I wouldn't be feeling like, hey, you know what? I can control this little, except for that Tom Nook who's always wanting his crowns. I can always kind of do something that I can control. But reading this article, a few days after purchasing Animal Crossing New Horizons, the wildly popular Nintendo Switch game in which the player lives life and completes tasks on a tropical island, I get an invite to visit my friend Andy's island. By the way, my island's called Spankville. My wife wanted me to call it Heather's Village or Heathertown or something like that. Just awful names, obviously. I told her she could start her own village and name it something to worship her as well. I got an invite to visit my friend Andy's island, Flavor Town. Appropriately, Andy immediately gave me a pizza oven. I purchased matching sporty sunglasses from the blue hedgehog posted up outside town hall, but in the dozen hours I've put in the game so far, approximately 15 minutes have made me feel this way. Inside the house, one room was decked out like a club. We ran around in the circles and wiggled back and forth, pretending to dance. Indy and I are both roughly 30, but for a few minutes, I felt happy as a small, baby-proportioned avatar looked. Okay, that means it worked, right? Video games are one of their primary functions, not necessarily the only function, is to be a form of escapism. In order for you to feel like that little baby avatar that's running around for just a little while longer. He continues, but in the dozen hours I've put in the game so far, approximately 15 minutes have made me feel this way. 14 of them were spent on islands that aren't my own, and one of them happened to be my friend Dylan sent me a nice hat in the mail. The rest of the time has been frustrating, tedious, and immensely boring, mostly involving mashing buttons to get through endlessly repeating dialogue boxes, with animals mumbling gibberish and refilling countless holes I dug in the wrong place. After a reasonable amount of casual play, here's what I'm left with. Animal Crossing New Horizons sucks, and I don't want to play it anymore. I think that it's... I mean, obviously this is a bait piece, but what did you expect? This article sounds like it's written by somebody who thought Animal Crossing was like a super in-depth RPG, that Animal Crossing was an FPS, that Animal Crossing was a strategy game. There are tiny elements of each of many of these games baked into Animal Crossing, but it is what it's always been, a time waster. A tedious task-mastering game that provides small rewards for daily tasks. It's part of the reason mobile games are so popular. People play Candy Crush and games like that for the exact same reason. You have daily tasks, you accomplish those tasks, you feel like you did something. In a lot of ways, this type of activity was also rewarded with MMOs. It led to what is commonly referred to as MMO addiction. Back in the day, there were memes about World of Warcraft and even Final Fantasy XIV online. I remember receiving a warning telling me, hey, remember you have real world obligations. You know, don't forget them while you're playing our video game. Look, Animal Crossing is what it is. You can't say it sucks because you're bored with it. It's not that the game isn't fun. It's just not for you. But that wouldn't stop articles pondering animal characters, what they do when you turn off the game. Aside from time traveling, one of the most controversial subjects within Animal Crossing community revolves around two characters. No, it doesn't. It absolutely doesn't. Millions of copies of Animal Crossing Animal Crossing New Horizons has been sold, and tens of people are concerned about what they do in the bedroom. As some fans tell it, these two animals are romantically involved with another. Others are hanging on to specific details to dispute the pairing. But here's the thing. What's canon doesn't matter anymore. Yep, that's exactly true. Just ask Star Wars and the failing Star Wars franchise. We all know that abandoning canon is always a very smart move for franchises. CJ and Flick are two creatures who can visit your Animal Crossing island to provide you with new activities. CJ is a live-streaming hyperactive beaver who holds fishing tournaments in addition to buying out any catches for a higher price. Flick, meanwhile, is a gentle lizard who loves insects and will even make art pieces of them for you. By the way, you know, I live in Wisconsin, and so we only get a few months out of the year where we can swim. It just kind of occurred to me that floating around in my urban white trash pool, I have one of those like temporary pools because I can't afford a real pool. One of those temporary pools, just floating around in there and like having a drink and then like playing some Animal Crossing. That does seem mildly interesting. It does kind of seem like it would be pretty relaxing. But anyway, curiously, the two characters refer to the other as a partner. Yeah, like a business partner. Which was interpreted by some as confirmation that the two are gay. Some look at that word, however, and say it means something like business partner. Yeah, everybody says that. Literally everybody says that, by the way. You can, for instance, give CJ 3 fish and I'll ask Flick to make them into an art model. Most recently, a snippet hailing from the official New Horizons companion guide says that the two are roommates, which once again is being taken as evidence that the fans were reading into things that weren't there. That's right, because as everyone knows, if two men or two women live together, obviously they're sleeping together. Let's ignore for a second that needing a roommate in the world where you can buy an entire house by collecting seashells is absurd. Let's look past the fact that Flick's design isn't the epitome of a twink ideal. Okay, let's consider that the two often talk about each other with an intense admiration that seems to go beyond friendship. This is, again, you know, I'm thinking, not that I hope, I don't really care. I think it's trying to kind of poke fun and be lighthearted about it. But it's so weird that there's a section of gamers that are really interested in this. I mean, I will never understand the requirement of knowing what cartoon characters in a child's video game may or may not do in their bedrooms. But that's why I don't write for BuzzFeed or Polygon. And that's why I don't work for failing news sites. And that's why people are still generally, depending on the topic, interested in the videos I make. It's because I try to talk about things, you know, normal people are interested in, and not try to fake, you know, grab a couple tweets and say, oh, there's millions of people that want to know what these two Animal Crossing characters are up to in the bedroom. Everybody needs to know. I mean, it's either a children's game or it isn't. It either sucks or it doesn't. They're either gay or they're not. I don't care. What it is a video game put up on Nintendo that is a classic time waster in a time in which most of the world right now has a lot of extra time to waste. Thus, I will go back upstairs and get back to work paying off my debt to good old Tom Nook. I hope you enjoyed this video. We'll talk to you again real soon.